The voices. Voices straight from the people.
Let our voices be for peace, unity, and progress. Wow, sir. Did you hear the comments on the streets?
Yeah, very, very, I think, very loud.
Yeah.
Because they spoke very, very loud. And, I quite agree with, their remarks. Talking about the content, we have shifted, from the content of the 80s and the 90s.
Yes.
Because the content then was informative. Right now, the content is provocative. It is actually more sensual than reality actually, presents itself. The unfortunate thing is that that's what today's world is all about. Today's world is about the artist, not the industry. It's all about showcasing the wealth, showcasing the physique.
Yes.
You even see men singing without their tops, just to show their six packs. And of course, almost every video now, every secular video has to be done by the pool, just because you want to see, ladies in their bikinis and all of that. Now, like one of the, the commentators,
yes,
he said, it just promotes nudity and immorality, and basically, truly, that's what we have. We don't have messages. Unlike before.
And what do you think that would result to?
Well, we already have the result. It's not even going to result in anything. We already have the result. And the result is the decay in the society. The minds of the younger ones, especially, that is being at the formative age, is already corrupt. So you see, for us, corruption is not an act. Corruption is now a nature. It is actually part of our reasoning, is the way we think.
Wow.
Once you meet a Nigerian and you're talking, if you present 2 bottles of Coke, you give a Nigerian 2 bottles of Coke, one is more fuller than the other, and you tell them, go give your friend, your best friend, even give it to your wife. The one that is less full is the one that goes to, Now, that tells you that it is not, our music has actually molded us in the negative, talking about content.
Yeah.
So one of them said there should be censorship, and I think we should censor some of the music.
Yes.
There should be advisories.
Yes.
That this music is not good for consumption, and it's amazing that even on NTA, you find some of these, videos, what I'll call nasty, being shown, not even at later time, but when children are sitting down and watching. And
why do you think that is the case?
Well, it's a callousness of the society. It's because someone is not doing his job, or someone is being paid to air those videos. Obviously, what I can't do in my house, I shouldn't allow any other person's son or child, to be able to view them. My simple message to these musicians and singers is, you don't have to sell nudity. You can simply sell art. You can sell creativity.
Yes.
And that's what we sell.
Yes.
So we don't sell sexuality. We don't sell immorality. No, we sell morality, because Africa is known as the cradle of civilization.
Yes.
And for us, what civilization is care for one another.
Well, some of them did talk about music in the 2000 now
Right.
is just for popularity and for the money. Do you agree to that statement?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if not, what is, what do you find in a lyric like Bangolo? And they just keep singing, Bangolo, Bangolo, and I mean, that's just it. We should, there are things going on in the society. In fact, let me talk about the purpose of music. Music is actually designed for the storage of history. The origin of songwriting is about custody of history. So in our society, we tell stories. Almost every tale, story, once upon a time, there must always be a song in the story to keep the memory of the picture that has been painted. Now, all of those songs go to store up the lessons learned from that particular story. And musicians or singers are actually storytellers.
Yes.
And that's who we are. So now we are painting a totally different picture in the minds of everybody. Whether you're young or you're old, everyone is affected. And I was driving from home one day to my office. My office is located at Tafabalewa Street. And I found myself, humming a song. So I decided, why not vocalize it? And what came out of my mouth was horrible. It was a song that I never bought it. I never consciously listened to it. And I realized after slapping my mouth for singing that nasty thing, I realized it was coming from FM because I had just listened to the news.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, tap 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 tap, a song by Salt and Pepper. What were they singing? Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about sex. And I slapped my holy mouth. And I said, how can Mr. Bring Down the Glory, be singing this?
Yeah.
Now
And
that's to tell you how powerful.
very powerful. Impactful.
Very powerful, how powerful songs can be. So if a person like me who is matured can be influenced, then you can now imagine what our children are facing.
Meaning music artists are influencers.
Actually, the whole of society is built by musicians. Everything you see in the society is built by musicians and by music. That's why Coca-Cola cannot sell until they get musicians to advertise. NASCO cannot, they need an advertisement. So it is music that sells things. And think about it the world over. Nothing, even movies cannot move without
music.
So you see, music has become the heartbeat of society. And so when you say that musicians or singers are influencers, I think that's probably a small word to use. Music or musicians and singers are controllers.
Wow.
And we actually control the psyche of the society. And that's what we're having right now.
That's powerful.
Very powerful.
That's power
Right.
in their hands.
Real
Either
power.
they use it positively or
Right.
negatively.
And we're supposed to use it positively. Just imagine what would have happened if, a group like P Square, or any other secular band, comes up with just simple things. What's going on in our society? Talk about the things, going on in Nigerian society. All the kidnapping, the, Boko Haram thing. Why
Banditry.
can't we just focus in correcting the ills of the society? Instead, we turn a blind eye as if nothing is happening.
One of the people on the street talked about music
Right.
easing pain. Is music therapy for pain?
Absolutely. That's one of my fields. Music therapy, simply defined, is a music that heals, or music medicine, music that helps people who cannot communicate in our regular format be able to communicate and talk to us. For example, when you meet a deaf or dumb person, they go with sign language. Now, the human brain receives information through the frontal lobe. Let me not go in there now. But that is the center that actually, we call it the sound center. In neurology, it is called the speech center. But for us, in music therapy, we call it the sound center, because speech is not just, that.
Yeah.
It is actually vocalizing the sound.
Yeah.
It is agreed scientifically that the speech center or the sound center controls the rest of the brain. Now, that's to tell you that sound controls the rest of the human faculties. What about our bodies? Our bodies are governed by rhythm. The heartbeat is what I call the rhythm of life, 75 beats per minute, standard. So any music you play at that slow speed will actually influence anybody that's listening to it, because it's very slow. Now you'll discover that Nigerian music has actually moved from being fast
Yes.
to being very slow.
Yes.
Now that is the secret of the therapy, because now they've brought it to the point where you cannot but listen to it.
You can't help it.
You just can't help it. You have to listen to it. So the therapeutic effect of music is as old as the Bible, because people have used it. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 31, God gave the commandments in form of songs. Even the commandments were in songs. The laws were all in form of songs. You'll find that Deuteronomy 31 and verse 19, where God said to Moses, "Now write down this song for you and teach it to the children of Israel. Put it in their mouth." And in fact, it's so amazing when he said that this song shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of your seeds, meaning the songs cannot be easily forgotten, because the human memory system is designed to assimilate, absorb, and store information in only two forms. It has to be either melody or rhythm. Anything rhythm or melody, the human brain or memory will store. But anything like colors, drama, and all that, if you ask a person, repeat the story, the person will repeat it with a lot of embellishments and all that. But when you tell somebody, sing the song again, they will always sing it accurately.
Yes.
For example, you went to primary school. We did multiplication table. 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4.
That was the only way I could get it.
It has to be a song for it to remain indelible. Up till today, there are things that, when someone is telling you, okay, please count this, you just find yourself, reciting the song. What about our alphabetical orders? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that's the power of music and memory. So whatever information is passed across in form of songs, the human memory keeps it for a lifetime. But if the message is given in another form, then the human memory, just within a period of 20 years, it would have gone completely. You won't remember up to 25% of the details. But if it is in form of songs, if you forget at all, you might only forget about 25%.
Wow.
So this is the power of music. So music therapy is a real field, a field of study. So we study it in the university, and thanks to God, I also have a PhD in that.
Beautiful. Brilliant, sir.
Thank you.
So, with all this negativity, about the music industry now, what do you have to say to music artists?
Well, one of the speakers, on the street, commented and said, mentoring. I do agree with mentoring. However, who are the mentors? If this is what they've been mentored to do, then obviously, then mentoring itself needs to be questioned, because what kind of mentors do we have? Secular guys have secular mentors. gospel people have gospel mentors. And I will say that gospel singers are doing a nice and a positive, job. However, we need to improve and begin to speak to the society. A lot of us are just into praise worship, which is great, but not everybody is called to be a temple musician.
Yes.
Some of us are musicians on the street. We are prophets. We are judges, of the society. So we need to write songs, that deal with all of these issues. So instead of us sitting here and complaining, we need to tell these young ones that, look, you can even make more money from that. I mean, that's the truth.
Totally.
Chief Ebenezer Obey is a millionaire. Sonny Ade, they're millionaires. But they don't sing, all these
Gospel.
sensualities or sexualities.
Yeah.
No, they sing real good messages.
Yes.
Even if it's not gospel, but let it be
Yeah.
socially right.
Message driven. Let it impact.
Certainly.
Let it change lives.
Certainly. That's what we're looking for.
Why the move from secular music to gospel music?
Well, I think it's precisely what we've been talking about, musicians being influencers. What happened was that, for 10 years, I was playing music in the club in Zaria. I was in Area Garden Hotel, Moonshine Hotel, West End Club, Costain Club in Kaduna, and, all of those places with my mentor, Sonny Lionheart, Balamila. Those were the people that nurtured, my early music life. But then, by 1974, I had an encounter. And it was just an encounter that couldn't just go unnoticed. And that was when I had a transition and a transformation completely. I had an encounter with the person I got to realize was the Lord Jesus Christ. And it was as if my life was presented to me as ended. And, where I was headed was not where I thought I was going to. And so the fright, the fear that gripped the whole of my system just told me this life has to end. And right there, without anyone, counseling with me, I just knelt and surrendered my life to the Lord Jesus. Then went back to school and met the person I consider my spiritual father, Uncle Bayo Famanuri. Now, that was the person that nurtured me and taught me precisely what decisions I had made and how to live the new life. Now, you can imagine singing Baby I Love You, Hey, Hey, I Feel All Right one time, and doing all the nudity thing that we're talking about. It didn't start today.
Yes.
It started then. Now, even though at that time the rascality was not as exposed as it is today,
Yes.
Nonetheless, it was still the same. It's just that it was, a growing phase. But immediately after that, once I was changed, everything about me had to change. My songs have to change, my nature had changed, and everything else must change. So, from 1964 to 1974 was my secular music life. But from 1974 till date, a totally different lifestyle.
Wow. Wow. What an encounter for you.
Absolute encounter for me,
Life-changing one.
Yeah.
Can you give us your final words?
Well, final word. How do you put together, 60 plus years, heading towards 70, and into final words? Anyway, this is what I'll say, that music is a serious venture. It's a powerful gift, and it controls the human nature and controls the whole society. Anybody who wants to go into into music should actually think. You don't just jump into music, you have to study. People who don't study get puppeteered at the end of the day because, the industry can just play games with you. And at the end of the day, you think you're making money, but not realizing that actually you've sold your soul. And so what I would say here is there has to be a purpose to everything. And you've not just been given the gift of music, for sensuality. You've not been given the gift of music for money making only. There's real money in the music industry. But, is money the purpose for our existence? No, it is not. Service is the purpose for our existence. So let us look for what that service is. And this is what I'll tell you. If you want to make money, you don't need God. Anybody who wants to be rich, you don't need God. But if you want to understand purpose and the reason why you were born, which you are going to give account for, then you need God. Without God, it's not possible to discover your purpose and to fulfill it. So finally, I would say to you, seek God, find Him, keep Him.
Powerful words.
Thank you.
Inspiring words. Sir, thank you for honoring our invitation.
You're welcome.
We have something special for you.
Oh, really?
Yes. This is our gift to you.
Hey, this is it. Thank you.
Thank you for being a voice for the voiceless.
Thank you.
I don't want to let Dr. PANAM PERCY PAUL go, but he has to leave now. I'll be right back. Stay with me.